Alright there guys, welcome back to another video. Back at it again at Kennedy. Got the BMX bike today. Figured I'd ride that today because I haven't ridden this in a while. So, I fixed it, rode it for like a day or two, and then parked it, and then I rode the mountain bike for a while and all that shit and whatever. And I'm gonna set you guys here so I can fix my shoelace. That's why I kind of decided to get the BMX bike out, was to get that moving. And like, it's been so long since I've rode the BMX bike last. I had to put air in the tires. I mean, they weren't super low. They're all above 30 pounds yet, but which you would think is a lot of pressure for BMX tires. No. Yeah, I normally set them at about 40, 42, somewhere in there. Fucking B. So I normally set these, well, when I had these tires in the Haro yet, this was a long time ago, when I had these tires in the Haro, I would set them at like 35 and call it good. But now I set them at 40. So, I normally, I set them at 40, and that normally works. Like I said, 40, 42, somewhere, between 40 and 42. It's kind of hard with mine and my dad's tire pressure. My our air chucks for filling tires. It's kind of hard to get them exact at like 40, 41, 42. Because they do, like, let's say 40.3, they do it in that point whatever too, whatever it is. So it's 40.3, 40.4, if it's that little bit off, it's not going to be that much of an issue. So I'm not real worried about it. If I blow it too, I got an extra one in my toolbox, so I keep simple stuff like that in my toolbox, like tubes and extra links to my chain for this bike, and all that, so. Like I said, it's not real big, not real big of an issue for me, and so I'm not worried about it. I already had to replace the tube on this fucking thing already, because I was going to fill the tires up one time, and thankfully it was the front tire, because I've always struggled keeping getting the chain where I want it. so I had to change the front tube and put that back, all back together and all that shit. So, within over the past 2 years, I want to say, I've had issues with bikes, with my bikes. The Iron Horse, that, the shifting on that's kind of a little bit weird. Needs to be cleaned. Dealing with the issues with the Iron Horse, trying to solve that, and snapped the fucking axle on the fat tire. And then after that, I popped the front tire on that. And then after that, I ripped the valve stem out of the front. That's why I had to change the tube on the front tube on the BMX bike, because I ripped the valve stem out of it. And I had to wait on the bike shop, wait a week on the bike shop because of them putting the brakes on the BMX bike. And I should have told them to just do it, hurry up, get it done, and all that shit. I mean, because I wanted the gyro, so they were trying to figure that out. And they said, well, they couldn't do it because I needed a taller fork, or a fork with a taller head tube. I was thinking, great, now I'd have, if I want a gyro so bad, I'm gonna have to fucking buy a different fork, have them cut it down, and put a fucking thing in there, and a thing for the compression bolt. And I'd have to have them source a gyro setup again. And, upper and lower gyro cables and all that shit. So, because that's all I would need is the gyro. I have the tabs already. So I'd bring in the bike, I'd be like, hey, I got a fork, I want a gyro put on this, I got the tabs ready for when I originally had the brakes put on here. And, I got the gyro tabs all mounted on the head tube, and all I need is the gyro and the upper and lower gyro cables, because the gyro cables normally, the upper is a single here, like how it is, a single, then I'll split and go to both sides of the gyro, so it pulls it up evenly. Then the lower is the same way, it splits, so it connects at the gyro, it splits. It splits and it goes down into one, and then it connects to the brake. Or you get the two cable set up, because you can run a gyro with two single cables. Going from the bottom of the gyro down to the brake. But I don't really like that setup because I had an older specialized fuse because it had a one-piece crank in it. I mean, it was a good bike, but it had a one-piece crank in it. So whoever, the guy that had that, well, my neighbor Danny, my old neighbor Danny, a friend of his, had that bike and moved out and left the fucking bike there. I'm like, you know, and at the time, like I said, this was also back when I had the Haro yet. You know, I thought about putting, you know, because I wanted to use the rims from the Specialized to make the Haro, you know, more modern. You know, with the 25 and 9 gearing. Which it worked, but I had to take the fucking brake off. So I left it and I took all the parts back off. And I mean, the wheels are probably the only thing worth anything out of the whole fucking bike. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, they had sealed, the hubs were sealed. Both sides of the hubs were sealed. Triple wall rims, you know, the hoops, the parts of the wheels that the tires mount onto were triple wall. 14 millimeter axles, front and rear. Which this one's probably like is small. This one's smaller. The rear is a 14 on this. So the wheels worked on my Haro and all that shit, and turns out they didn't work the way I wanted it, and so. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. I'm gonna go get some lunch from up by my mom's, so, because she works at the Quick Trip over here now, so. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.